Here comes the Nastygram.
Send a priest to save my soul, forget it.
Welcome back to the Nastygram RPG podcast. This is London Calling, Operation Royal Harvest Debrief.
Feeling it too hard is the poison to the heart of a cynic. Redemption. Now I'm waking to
All right, what have we got here?
That gypsy we sent to Norway just tried sending a letter to his nephew. We intercepted it, seeing how it may contain classified information.
And does it?
Well, it might. I'm not sure.
How's that? It does or it doesn't?
Well, if it does, then it's above my clearance.
We got a lot here to get through. Let's hear it.
All right. Dear nephew, I'm not sure where you are or when this will reach you, but I wanted to tell you that I'm alive. I was brought to Buchenwald, and that was the last place where I saw any of our clan.
Oh, bloody hell.
Gets worse, mate. But how I escaped that evil place and ended up in England is another story. I've been working with the Brits, helping in any way I can. I can't tell you where I was sent. All I can say is it was a port city occupied by Germany. My job was to smuggle in important royal member of that country back to England.
All right. I mean, seems good.
Sure. We were successful, but the thing we encountered there is the true reason I'm writing to you. There are among the Germans a group of special soldiers we have started referring to as Übermensch. Übermensch? Is that German?
Übermensch?
All right.
That means Supermen, I think.
Sure. I was captured by one of them. He stared into my eyes, and I watched his cold blue eyes turn the same brown as my own. I watched as his skin darkened and stretched, his bones cracked and shifted. His hair grew 6 inches and turned dark brown to match my own. Right in front of me, this man changed into my doppelganger.
Are you putting me on, mate? Is that what this says?
Look right here. When I was in the labor camps, the guards treated us like animals. Many of them enjoyed seeing us suffer. Those men looked compassionate compared to the doppelganger. I met him for only a moment, but I'll never forget the way he looked at me. He stared into my eyes, with my eyes, and made me feel insignificant.
All right, that's enough. You're right, this is beyond our clearance. Let's ring up Colonel Tentley. Send this letter from Mr. Emil Adler up to him. Welcome back to the Nastygram RPG podcast. Do I say anything? Now I'm Jake. This is Josh, and I'm going to be your handler.
What's good, fam? Matt here, playing Olaf Wexel, the ship captain.
This is Devin, and I'm playing Frederick Fox. Now due for another promotion, maybe?
Hey, folks. Dan here, playing Leo Krona, the British burglar.
Hey, this is Jake, and I'm playing the real Emil Adler.
So this is going to be our home scene episode. Following the successful conclusion of your second mission, Operation Royal Harvest, you guys had to traveled with the British Navy up to Narvik and eventually were brought back to England. And on your return, basically debriefing, all that kind of stuff, we'll talk about some of that and what you got into. You're also basically being told that a new unit is being stood up. In the background of all of this, the war is going very badly. Over the course of these home scenes, in the background that may or may not influence any of this, but the German armies have pushed into France, broken through, and British forces and French forces fell back to the coast. And in this world, the evacuation from Dunkirk is a failure. The vast majority of the British Expeditionary Force is captured at Dunkirk. And following that, the German army pivots, takes Paris, in France falls. And the mood in the summer of 1940 in the UK is dark. The map of Europe is gray tide all over almost all of Western Europe, stretching from the Baltic to the Atlantic Ocean, and all of Norway also falls. And everyone's wondering what comes next. And at some point in that summer, bombs start falling on London. So that's kind of happening in the background. Your individual characters, you've been told that, including you, Olaf, after the debriefings and some more discussion, that they want to offer your team a role in a new organization that's being stood up called the Special Operations Executive, the SOE. And we'll kind of see that you guys fully come together at the end of this episode and being given your next mission. It's a chaotic time as the UK is reeling, retreating, losing kind of everywhere. In the meantime, you guys are taking stock of what has occurred and maybe trying to deal with that. So I asked you guys to each think of 2 home scenes, the Delta Green home scene mechanics. You guys have heard these ones before. A couple things we're going to do up front. We're going to deal with some sanity rolls, and we're also going to do luck rolls. I decided I'm going to offer you so we do a luck roll at the start of every episode. For the home scene episodes, you guys have to collectively decide. You can each roll, or everyone can take 5 luck. No rolls. That's not as high as you can get, but it's a guaranteed 5 for everybody. You decide that. And then we're going to do our sanity losses. We'll go through our home scenes. At the end, we'll deal with any mechanical stuff that came from your home scenes and rolling to improve skills that have failed over the past mission. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Marvelous.
What do you guys want to do with luck roll?
I say we leave it up to Dan.
I would
What's
like
the current
to
luck
roll.
score?
I have a 15 right
You
now.
have 15.
That's high, bud.
You do
that's
realize
high for
you're
me.
going to roll
I have
a
10.
14.
So realize you can,
I have been
even if you're very likely to fail,
single digits for
you also
the
roll
whole,
a D10.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dan picks roll.
All
Yep.
right. Roll
We
them, boys.
roll.
We roll at midnight.
23.
Fail.
So you failed, right?
Failed.
Yep.
Roll D10. Matt, you failed.
Yep.
Roll D10.
I rolled 100.
I got a 9.
Crit fail.
I got
Gain
4.
10.
Wow.
Only for 100. Only for 100 or a 1 will be extremes
See?
on the luck rolls.
See? That's what I'm telling you, Jake. I got a 9 for
A
luck.
9?
Yeah.
4.
4?
I got 5 luck.
Okay.
Wow.
Worked
That's a
out
net.
for you that time.
Sorry, Matt.
Hey, it's all right. What comes
Um,
around goes around.
Sanity. From the overall stress, killing, violence, destruction, fear of operating that mission, everybody make a sanity check for that.
You want to be under this, correct?
You want to be at or under your sanity. A success, you take 1 sanity damage.
I got a 1.
Success.
I failed.
Okay. So
Our
my-
fearless leader is
my
going
home
down the rabbit
roll
hole.
tweak, if you take sanity damage on a success, you do not check a box. If you take sanity damage on a fail, you check a box. That's for the adapting to violence or helplessness. So Matt, success,
Correct.
take 1.
Done.
Devin,
Fail.
fail. I'll roll.
Uh-oh, buddy.
Sorry. 6.
That was a disheartening look.
He already
You know,
took 5.
I think this makes sense
Yeah.
because kind of coupled
Do you
with
think it makes sense? What makes sense? What is this? Why?
because I think aside from a meal, you saw and went through the most.
For sure.
And you were already in a temporary insanity. Will this get you to a breaking point?
Yes.
Okay.
Woohoo.
So we'll have to resolve that as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
Dan?
Can I have another?
I got a 1. So success.
Okay. You got a 0, 1?
0, 1.
Okay, you take no sanity damage.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
nice.
That's the 1 in the 100 doing
Nice,
wonderful
Dan.
things.
Things are really looking up for me.
Jake?
I succeeded. And so I'm going to mark off helplessness because I think.
No, you don't get to
Oh,
check
you-
a box if you succeed and take sanity damage. Only if you fail. and
Oh,
take damage.
okay,
So
okay.
you take 1. You don't check a box.
Okay.
However, for the other part of this, what happened to Emil, we'll save you for last, buddy. Fox, you already rolled. You already accounted for this.
I did.
Olaf, I think you are the least affected by this, but it's still, you're around it and it gets talked about. Obviously, you talk about what happened. And we'll hear maybe more from that from Emil. So give me a sanity roll. Everybody's going to make one except for Fox.
That's your problem is you guys talk about this stuff. You're supposed to just
Repress it.
Yeah.
33 under.
Gotta be English.
33 under.
Totally
Okay,
different.
take
Yeah.
1. You get no checkbox. Leo, you didn't see anything firsthand, but you're a lot closer to Emil.
Under 25, under 68.
And you think a lot about what you could have done differently, should have done differently. You take 4.
now.
That's a natural. There's no box to check for that. That's max. That was max on a fail. Or on a success, rather. Emil.
How am I connected to Emil?
Who?
Unfortunately, I made it. 46 under 69. Giggity.
You take 6.
Ow.
Does that bring you to a breaking point?
No.
Okay. All right. And I think this is a good time. We don't talk too much about these home scenes in advance. This is going to be on you guys. I asked kind of everybody to come up with scenes. You sort of gave me a topic, what the scene's going to be about. But when we go to it, I kind of want you guys to set the scene. I'll play any NPC that's involved, but otherwise you kind of steer the narrative here. Tell me where it is, what's happening. If there's a role involved, I think I want to do this differently. Dan brought this up too. Let's do the role before the scene, because sometimes that might inform how the scene should go. So we're going to start with Emil. What do you want to do for your home scene? First of all, what is it mechanically, I guess? What are you doing under the home scene selection? And then where do we see ourselves?
I think is it okay if I do study the unnatural?
Yeah.
All right. So I need a D4 because I don't keep those handy.
Here you go.
Josh, real quick. I'm going to look at the disorders here for my breaking point.
Yeah. Why don't you pick what you think is most appropriate?
Well, I was going to ask, what was the source of the sanity loss? Because there are different sample disorders for violence, helplessness, and the unnatural.
I think you lost a total of 11 sanity.
Yes.
And I think it was kind of from all of those things.
Okay.
So, you've been exposed to violence before, but there was a lot of it. It's probably been quite some time before you killed somebody, since you killed somebody. Seeing people die, being involved with that, everything that happened with Emil, what you saw, what he told you,
I have an idea.
and maybe some of the feeling of the panic that you had. You're Freddy Fox, cool as a cucumber, and you didn't lose it, but you felt some cracks on that mission. So whichever you think is most appropriate.
I'm already cooking one.
And tell me when you want to kind of talk about that, if you want to do it before one of your scenes.
I'm going to stuff it way down deep inside.
Put it in a box.
All right.
So the way that this works is I reduce a bond by a D4 and I gain that in the unnatural skill. I chose Madame Rossetti because that's who I'm going to be speaking to in this scene. So I now have the unnatural skill. I don't know what that does mechanically. I honestly don't. I'll look it up later. But we see Emil enter this little shop. There's a sort of haze of incense in the air, very cluttered, bookshelves full of random trinkets everywhere. All sorts of like Lucky Charms and stuff like that, like hanging from rafters, pictures of different saints. And he takes off his hat. He's kind of has to like duck to come in here because he's kind of tall and lanky. And he sits down at her little tarot card table. It's got this like velvet piece of cloth over it. She has her cards all laid out with like a crystal on top of them. And he's kind of holding his hat, and he looks over at her older Italian woman, Madame Rossetti.
Yeah, she's all done up,
Mm-hmm.
you know, headdress, crystals, shimmery shawl. There's incense, low lighting, everything's candle lit. She says, Emile, you have returned. I thought you would, but I sense you bring back with you pain, confusion, fear.
I've seen the devil.
Well, in one case, you are lucky, because what is the devil's greatest desire? He wishes us to believe he does not exist. So to have pierced that shroud, you are already opposing his aims.
He looked like a man, but the way he looked at me, the way he stared at me like I was not human to him, or he did not care for human.
Let me read. Sit. And
Give me a D20.
D20.
Oh boy. You want to roll it?
She puts one hand
I
on
want you to
yours.
put it in your pocket, Jake.
She brings your hands actually together, and she puts one hand over both your hands, and with the other hand, she shuffles the deck one-handed. Very nice little sleight of hand. She's mastered.
Cool.
And kicks out one card. You think she would do pretty well in a casino.
As she's doing that, before she kicks the card out, I say, he studied me. The way he looked at me, looked through me, looked into my soul, saw my fears. He studied me. 12.
She pulls a card. It looks like a set of scales. Justice. You felt adjudged by this entity. It was in a room with you. It saw things in you, you think? Do you feel that it saw things that you did not know?
Maybe. Or maybe it's... Oh, no. No, the way it looked at me, it didn't care. It didn't care that I was a man. All it saw was flesh. And then it took my face, studied me, and then its skin, it pulsed, it bubbled, it writhed.
You feel her hand tighten on yours a bit, reflexively.
It was in pain. It was in pain, but then when it was done, when its bones had stretched, when the hair pushed out, when its eyes sunk in, it had taken my face.
She says, Justice, the world right now pays in pounds of flesh. This devil, it seeks to expend that toll. And you are part of this. Roll another card.
1.
Oh my. Halfling luck.
Turns a card. It's a jester. The fool. You were not ready for this thing. None could be.
I should have killed it. I should have fought it. I had a chance.
To be mortal is to be a fool. To be exposed to things you cannot understand. This is to see in the mirror how little we know of all that is around us, all that is possible. Her voice kind of shakes a little bit. You feel she's well practiced. This is a craft, but you feel her being pulled in. You feel a true tension in her voice in this reading.
It's cool because the reduction of the bond score, I feel like she's just going to be like, dude, this guy's too intense. Like, you know, like these are too draining. You know what I mean? Like,
roll one more.
Emile says a 2. After it took my face, it looked at me, it smiled. I wasn't human. I was just a prop. Just a thing for it to copy to get what it wanted. I was so little to it.
Her hand
It thought of me is less than an insect.
Stops as she's pushing out the third card. And she kind of breaks character in a sense for a moment. And she says, this was no vision. This occurred before your eyes. You live this in your flesh.
I could see its arrogance. I could see how sure it was of its victory.
She turns the last card.
How can they be so strong? How can we fight them?
There's a cloaked figure holding a staff, his face shrouded in darkness. The magician. Her hand tightens on yours. If you have seen things like this, you've glimpsed beyond the veil, seen things that the saints alone have described. This card means there must be a power to face these things. There must be a way to see, to understand more of what happened to you, of what you've seen and its purpose. Things you must do to understand this are not things of man. Her hands tight on yours. You see her knuckles white. Almost hurts how hard she's squeezing your hand, and she's staring right in your eyes.
Say, it took my face. So you're saying I must do the same?
She kind of snaps out of it. She kind of pulls her hand back and then tries to relax herself. She says, I must think more of this reading. There's much energy coming from you. Colors swirling around you. I will think more. You must look in yourself. Think of what I've told you. Look into your heart. She kind of stands up from the table.
I get out some.
There's no charge. Thank you, Emil. I must go.
I nod and just leave quietly.
She's incredibly unsettled as you leave.
Madame Rossetti, I think I understand what I have to do.
She just kind of nods and kind of hurries you out, shuts the door. Wow. All right. And what you reduced the bond with her?
Yep.
How much?
3.
3 into
D4. Yeah.
Unnatural. Daniel, Leo's first scene.
Yes. So should I roll the sanity roll first to see whether it's
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
So what are you doing?
I am going to be I'm calling this fulfill responsibilities, which is kind of supports existing relationships. This one is kind of unusual. He wants to approach one of his university professors, who I think was one of his art professors, which really got him involved in art. And I think that the professor was maybe someone that responded to his letters while he was in jail. And he feels like there's some camaraderie there, and that at the very least, maybe the professor wants him to do well, but he may misconstrue how that pans out, because what he's bringing to the table in this scene is a brooch that he stole from the Polish treasury when they were on their first mission, and he wants to sell it in hopes of making some extra money.
Okay. All right. So this is a sanity roll. So roll a sanity test.
I did.
Success or failure?
Failure, 82 over 64.
Okay. So a success would have improved this bond. So a failure doesn't have a mechanical ill effect.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't improve the bond.
Okay.
So you set up a meet.
Yep.
Where?
So I think his professor, the school he went to was London School of Economics. It moved to Cambridge during World War II when the bombing started. So he takes the drive out to Cambridge, about 50 miles outside of London. He has probably written a letter in advance that set up the date and time to meet with his professor. His professor's name is Professor Edward Clark. And I think the scene maybe opens up with him parking of the vehicle that he's used for the day. And he is stepping out onto the Cambridge campus, heading towards the art faculty.
Professor, what is it, Clark?
Edward Clark. Yep.
Edward Clark. All right. You find your way. You probably have to ask for some directions. This is a new place for you. And you get brought in. Professor Clark is sitting in his private office, in his office hours, say later in the afternoon when you get out here. And
Leo knocks at sort of the entryway.
yes, come in.
He steps through and he says, Professor Clark, it is good to see you.
See, older British man, wireframe glasses. He kind of pushes him up on his nose as he sits back behind a stack of papers, textbooks spread over his desk. And he says, Mr. Krona, the prodigal son returns.
Leo looks around the office and he says, so you've settled in here?
Yes, well, it's, we all have to make adjustments, of course, and times like this. I never thought I'd see the day. Bloody Jerry planes flying over London.
Hard times are coming, Professor.
Yes, we're all affected. We're all doing what we can, and we've adjusted our curriculum quite a bit. How about yourself? It's good to see you, out and about. Our last correspondence,
He sits down and he kind of winces as he sits down.
made right with the king, I hope.
In a manner of speaking. I actually work for him now.
Is that a fact?
Josh, how freely can we communicate what we do?
You are not supposed to talk about any of your missions. I think you've been told enough that you are going to be officially employed by the British government. Your cover, you've been told this is sort of still getting worked out, but you're going to be employed under the colonial administration as
Like a kind of like a foreign affairs office?
consultants. Yep.
Okay.
And there'll be someone that you're on paper attached to. So you are officially employed in some kind of government. There's legitimacy to it.
Yep.
But as far as the actual missions you conduct,
Mhm.
you are not supposed to talk about that to anybody not read in.
Yep. He goes, the king, in fact.
Yeah, good for you, boy. I knew you had promise, despite your, inclinations of youth, perhaps. We can pass them off as, yes?
Oh, perhaps, but there might be an opportunity. I think that given your knowledge, your contacts, you and I could maybe work together a bit.
In what way? I'm still in academia, of course, although I am assisting in my own ways, helping with some reports to the Ministry of Economics.
Leo reaches into his breast pocket and he produces a white cloth that's kind of folded into squares. And he slowly unfolds each square and reveals probably about like a palm-sized brooch. The larger field in the back is the Baltic amber that Poland is known for. And then it's set in a pretty intricate geometric design of rubies and pearls, red and white. Again, Polish colors.
Oh, my.
He places it kind of on the edge of the desk and he says, this has fallen in my hands. And I have a feeling, if you will, that it's worth quite a bit of money.
He's very fascinated by the piece. What is he, an art professor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably in antiquities.
Yep.
He's someone that inadvertently probably piqued Leo's interest because of the value of things.
Okay. He sort of fixated on the object at first, very, academic interest. He pulls out his little looking glass and he's studying it. He's like, it's quite genuine. Polish Lithuanian Empire time frame, I believe. This is perhaps 600 years old. I would venture, and quite valuable.
Leo nods along.
Fell into your lap. I mean, wouldn't it be into the king's lap? He kind of sits back. His, that sort of initial interest kind of passes, and he sort of starts to register what you're really talking about.
The king and I had our own arrangement. He was paid, and this is sort of my tip. Not that we do that here in England.
Yes, Gertrudis is quite below us.
Servants are paid a fair wage by their employers, of course.
Those colonials, they just eke it out on there. Give me a persuade roll.
Sure. 8 under 50.
He says, well, in my mind, the proper place for this was in a curation, a museum. There are back channels for the way these things are acquired, and many of these institutions have quite generous endowments to help with the procurement of these items for the greater good. It is not what one might be able to get on a different market, but one that I would be comfortable with.
You would be willing to facilitate that for me?
Yes, on agreement that will be the end state. This will end up, there's quite a few institutions in Greater Britain that would, I think, pay a handsome sum to have this on display and study.
Well, that would be fine by me if the price is right.
You don't think your friend that you lost in Poland would be very heartbroken that you were doing this? He doesn't say that.
He's dead and buried.
Is he?
Yeah, right. He, Leo kind of breathes out a small sigh of relief.
He says, Leo, there is a degree of discomfort I have in this. I hope you understand that I think this will change our relationship some past the academia, and I think if you feel comfortable doing this, then I feel comfortable making sure it ends up in the right place, and I suppose I would take a token fee, but the bulk of it will be for you.
I wouldn't have it any other way, Professor.
I would like it known that I am a patriot, and king and country means something to me.
You hear?
I don't ever want you coming back before my desk with something that opposes those goals.
Leo nods slowly.
But yes, he folds it back up in cloth. He says, I think, give me 2 weeks' time, and I think I will be able to arrange this.
2 weeks' time it is. It's good to see you.
You as well, Mr. Corona. Please, stay out of trouble.
He kind of doffs his hat and leaves.
I think that worked out well. I think it sort of didn't improve the relationship, but
Yep.
kind of put boundaries on it.
Yeah. Clearly, like maybe almost like a one-time thing.
Maybe not, but
Right.
he no longer does he look at you as like a promising pupil. Now it's like, okay,
He is what he
he's
is.
lost his way,
Yeah,
but maybe some value can come out of that back to
sure.
this. I like that.
Yep.
Tainted.
All right. Olaf,
Yes.
what's your first scene here? Staying on the case?
Correct.
All right. What are we doing?
Joining the team.
Joining the team up montage. All right. What do you think this actually, how do you want to look in at this? You want to involve another PC? Do you want to involve an NPC? Maybe a meeting with the colonel that's behind
I was
this?
going to say, I think an NPC, I think the colonel and Olaf is going to he's going to have some questions about what exactly it is that he's getting
Cool.
himself into.
I like that. You've met Colonel Tentley before. When you first got back, initial debriefs, there was sort of a introduction, proposal, you get the sense that they were doing some digging on you. They set up a follow-in meeting, and you're there in the British Ministry of British Intelligence building, one of them, well sandbagged at this point, and probably meeting at a deeper level. And as you walk in, you see Colonel Tentley kind of slide a folder to the side. You see your name on it.
He grabs it, opens it up.
Oh, no. It's like on his side of the
Oh,
desk.
okay.
Sorry, like he'd been reviewing your
I see.
file that he fucking reach over.
I just take
Give me-
it. It's got my name on it. It's mine.
Sorry, what's your last name?
Wexel.
He says, Mr. Wexel, please have a seat.
Thank you, Ken. Mind if I smoke?
Not at all. I'll join you.
Pulls out a pipe.
He does as well. He kind of gives you a approving nod. Passes you as one of those cool, like big desk lighters,
Nice.
big brick things. You click it, little flame. He lets you light. He lights. He sits back. Attendant comes in, brings in some tea. He says, I'm sorry. Is tea all right?
It'll do.
Coffee, if you prefer?
It's a little late in the day.
He sips. He says, so, if you are still interested, we would like to formally extend an invitation to join something that is currently just being formed. The individuals that you assisted on this last message and on this last mission, and as I've read through the debriefs, were critical in the success of. You're exactly the kind of man we're looking for in this organization. This is not a conventional military organization. It's not even what we think of as classic espionage. This is a new kind of war, and it calls for a new way to fight it. What we need are not just soldiers, not just commandos, not just spies, but something in between all of those things. Groups of men and women with disparate backgrounds, skills, ethnicities, languages, that we can send out to stem this tide. The weight of the world is on the crown right now. We stand between a true force of evil and the freedom of Western civilization. I know that sounds a bit of a Heidi pitch, but what I promise you, employment, I promise you opportunity to do true good work, things that will actually make an impact. And I promise you risk and danger. You'll be paid well, the rate of a British colonel. You'll be employed. Your cover is under the... He shuffles the paper. He actually opens and he slides a badge to you. Colonial Administration. Consultant. That will be a cover story. In fact, you'll be part of something different.
Well, Colonel, I'm a little flattered. I'm also just a fisherman, so a lot of that flowery language is a bit lost on me.
He laughs and he taps his hand on the folder on his desk and he says, well, I think between you and I, we can agree that you're a bit more than a fisherman.
Very true. But
There's nothing to be ashamed there, boy. If you were a simple fisherman, wouldn't be as interested. You are a capable man. You've had quite a path.
well,
You've seen more than once the threat of a conqueror.
I have. And that is...
You're kind of surprised at how much, like, this is pre-internet, like, he knows some shit about you.
That is why I wanted to help, but it's... I'm a fisherman, a smuggler. I can get goods, but what the rest of those men you sent my way, they do is... This isn't going to be normal. I understand that, but what happened with Emil? I cannot wrap my head around it.
His face kind of clouds for a second. Let me ask you guys, how much got into the debrief, and they prodded.
Leo didn't say much about it. He didn't really get to see all the details.
You know,
it was explained to him.
It was kind of almost like an interrogation.
Yep.
I mean, they didn't act like they wanted you to be afraid or anything like that, but it was a very professional debrief, which really, you know, you get isolated one-on-one, different people talk to you. They can, you know, correlate your stories, you know, really corroborate.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's it. That C word. So what do you think? So Leo, not much?
I think Leo sticks to the story exactly as he experienced it, not what was told to him after.
Okay.
So he's not lying.
Emil?
I think Emil told the rest of the team on the way back, like everything that he just told Madame Rossetti. I think maybe Emil skipped out on the debriefing, just didn't go. Maybe they chased him down for a while and eventually got him to show up.
Yeah.
But like it literally weeks later, like he was like off the radar, kind of trying to wrap his own head around it. And he didn't really, I mean, he actually can kind of tell them the least because he's like, I was tied up in a basement. You know, and that's kind of all he said.
Fox
reveals pretty much everything except the part about Emil was clouded. I think he says that when we were extracting, something was wrong with Emil. He ran off. We went and found him in the city, retrieved him, and brought him back. And he seemed to have snapped out of his stupor. So I lie. I omit things. I'm very careful about what I say.
You all get the sense that they think there's more to the story, in more than just they're picking up on you. They ask some pointed questions about, like, every one of you gets asked, did you see anything you couldn't explain? There's some, and maybe you do or do not reveal, but it seems like there's some questions they're asking unprompted. So we'll cut back. Colonel Tentley and Olaf. He sits back and he says, yes, there's definitely some things to get up to speed on. That will be part of where we're heading next.
There are things that they can't explain.
Yes, there are. There are things that happened in Dunkirk, things that happened in Norway, Poland, France. There are things we do not understand, Mr. Wexel. All right, old boy. If you're on board, I'll help you get caught up to speed. In fact, there's someone you're going to be meeting.
I do.
She'll have some more questions for you.
Good. Is it time for some brandy?
Why not? It's a bloody war. We fade out as he busts out the cordial glasses. And roll. So mechanically, that is...
Lose a bond.
Yep. Reduce one bond.
Which I
by
think
one.
Will be with the Blue Sards. Is a French rock climbing group. It's summertime, and though France has been taken over, I believe Fontainebleau is relatively like untouched, and there's some pretty famous rock climbing, bouldering places out there that he is not there for the first time in many summers.
Okay. Like that. I secretly roll for you. What roll do I want to do? I have your character sheet here. I don't think chronology or the occult necessarily makes sense. You know what? I am going to do an occult roll, but it's going to be aided. Part of this scene mechanically is actually going to continue into the next game.
Okay.
But we're going to do the mechanics now. All right. You get to roll these. This is the only sanity roll you get to roll is the 1d6 minus 3 because I think it's fun. This is the one you can gain or lose. So either way, this happens.
1.
Okay. You lose 2 sanity,
All right.
and you're going to gain a D4 unnatural or 10 in occult. Your pick.
I'll go with 10 in occult.
Okay. I'll bring you up to a 20 if you didn't have it. You had the starting 10.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
So total of 20?
Nice.
Maybe.
We'll set up a meeting. Dr. Evelyn Hartley.
Good. I look forward to it.
All right. Emil and Fox combo scene. Finally, I can sit back and
Combo.
right?
We're doing establish a new bond.
We are.
All right. You want to make a charisma ×5 check?
I would love to.
Or do we both roll?
I think we both roll because we're both doing the activity,
Oh, okay.
right? Because I think,
Because one of us could make a bond and the other one not? Is
yeah.
that- okay.
Yep. And we'll each have probably our individual bond values. I failed 78 over 70.
I made it. What happens?
Okay. So on a failure,
Fox is
you,
insane.
you
That's
do not establish a bond.
So I establish a bond equal to half my charisma.
If you succeed, you establish a bond half your charisma. Doing so reduces the value of one other bond as you kind of.
It's going to be with my nephew Emil. Ooh, 4. And I know why. Because that's going to play into where we are in this scene.
So for you, Devin, I don't think you lose another bond.
Yeah, because it says the attention required to successfully establish a new bond reduces the value of one other bond other than a bond for Delta Green.
So what I think, I'll kind of let you guys role play this out, obviously, but I think maybe there's a connection between you guys, but there's something that holds you back, Fox, from kind of committing to that.
I think I know what that is.
Yeah, sanity.
Cool.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, I think Emil has probably over the course of his life has met that breaking point of his sanity several times.
And remember, this doesn't affect like how much you like or don't like
Right.
somebody.
Of course. Yeah.
A bond means like there's something
Yep.
you are committed to that person.
But I think you're a little tenuous about, not wanting to sort of end up the way Emil is.
Well, also, so I was thinking the bond that I was going to establish, that I was trying to establish, is that perhaps my personal attachment to Emil is endangering the mission. Fox realized that we had the Crown Prince on the boat and he got off of the boat. And we made it out, but we talked in Poland, we weren't working together. We were disorganized and we lost someone. And I think Fox thinks we got lucky this time, but he doesn't want to be clouded by, his attachment to Emil.
And I think Emil's bond is that he feels like he can rely on Fox, and he doesn't feel like he can actually count. He doesn't really feel that he can count on anyone. Like, people have generally disappointed him, and he feels like Fox is a sort of anchor almost.
Right.
And Fox personally feels like he doesn't want Emil to feel that way about him.
All right. So where are you guys?
So, Fox, you, after getting a phone call, show up at a police precinct in London. And the duty officer, probably due to your connections and paying a hefty fee, is giving you all of my possessions.
Oh, you're here for the gypsy?
And he says, I'm not giving you the gun. It wasn't registered. Oh, well, that's not even a thing, right? And then no registering of guns. The officer does mention that he was carrying a gun on him illegally. They're all illegal. You're jolly old England.
On account of everything else you passed along, we'll let that slide. He's in your care.
Obliged.
He was arrested for kidnapping.
Okay. Fox.
We got a card for your office to follow up with if anything doesn't go right.
And I'm thinking the loss of a D4 bond, 4 bond with his nephew. He went and he broke his nephew out of the orphanage. And it was probably a pretty traumatic experience for the kid.
What's that bond down to?
6. Yeah, like he thought, like, no, we're gonna get out of here. It's gonna be good, you know. And the kid's like, they feed me there.
Right.
I don't want to live in the back of your truck.
You go through the rigmarole, sign the papers, do what you have to do, get his stuff, and you get him out of there. And you're maybe back in your sitting in your car outside the station.
Yeah, Fox has a driver.
Damn.
And the driver opens the door for you. It's like a military police. And Fox gets in and he starts driving, and Fox doesn't say anything.
I don't either.
You are driving out of the city north.
Where are we going?
Fade to the map view, the red arrow moving north from London.
Fox takes out a cigarette. He offers one to Emil.
I take it.
He takes a drag. You know, you're part of the team now. You go and you get twisted up in something like this. Kidnapping.
Wasn't kidnapping. Your country kidnapped him.
He has a paperwork. I had to call in a lot of favors to get you out.
I'm the last family he has.
I told him I'd take you far away from London.
If they would just, if they would just give me a real job, put me give me some paperwork that says I'm allowed to be here.
You are a dangerous man, Emil. The boy is safer away from you. You do well to give up your attachment to him until this whole thing's over.
The boy has been in the same place for almost a year. They keep him in this orphanage.
Do you remember where you were 2 months ago?
I nod.
4 months ago?
Germany.
He's safer in London, for now.
I'm the last family he has.
And you have more important things to do. You agreed to this. Why did you go off? In Norway, anyways. Away from everyone else, away from the team. We talked about this. No more adventures. We work together.
What are you talking about?
You went off and you got nipped. Takes another drag of the cigarette. He's done with this one at this point. He lights up another one.
When they took his mother, my sister, my parents, everyone. I don't know. I don't know how he got away. But we're the last ones. And I worry he's in this place, always in the same place, and I worry that he will forget our ways, our customs, and
would you want that boy going where you're going? To do what you do?
No, but they pay me well now, and if it was just official, above the board, I could get a house. He could stay there while I'm gone. I could afford someone to watch him.
Your life is not yours now, Emil. Neither is mine. We've signed it away to country and king. That's why I got something special for you. The boy is safe. I made sure of it. We'll make sure you can send him books, letters, but you're going to be working on something else. And as that, conversation drifts, we pull back and we see off in the Highlands, we see the big manor house.
Long drive up to the Scottish Highlands with a little quality time up there.
Yeah, it's probably going to lead into my next scene, which is nice because I kidnapped Emil and now I can have him help me with my
Oh, I could be on that scene. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, we fade out from there. What do we got? Ringing wedding bells there, Leo?
Yep. That's a follow-up on one of my older home scenes.
Wow, she called you back.
A sanity check?
Yes. This is, you are doing fulfill relationships? Or,
Yeah.
Are you getting
no,
married?
that's not it.
I think we may have switched them. I think this one was the personal motivation. The
Personal
last
motivation.
one was
Yes.
fulfill responsibilities. 89.
Any luck?
Not that much.
Can't use luck on sanity checks. This is personal motivation.
Yeah. But maybe we have to. I think they're interchangeable, to be honest. Because I think the last one was I failed and there is a result for fulfill responsibilities. Personal motivation doesn't really have much of a result unless you fumble it.
This is to restore sanity. Personal motivations.
Yep.
Okay, I get it. No, so this is personal motivations. We did that right.
Yep.
We did
Okay.
fulfill motivations because that was making that bond or dealing with your bond with the instructor, professor. This is not so much your bond with her as trying to come to terms, get some closure, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And I failed.
And you failed. So you reduced one bond by one. I think I can assume which one that's going to be. And you do not add any sanity.
Cool.
You're standing outside of a small church. I'm going to steal a touch of the narrative to describe the scene.
Sure.
Because I don't know what you expected, but you find this is a small church on the outskirts of London, and you're there as the new couple comes out. You don't get the names, but it's Mr. and Mrs., and you see a man walking out. He's in a private's uniform of the Royal Air Force, not a pilot, crewman.
Loser.
And his bride. What's her name?
Sophia King.
Sophia King. Sophia King, did she come from money?
Yes.
What's kind of surprising to you about this is the scene on the opposing sides of the step. You can clearly recognize, you probably know some of the individuals in her family, paraded out in their best, looking quite proper. And across from them, also in their wedding best, but clearly a working class, rough and tumble, blue collar family. You can tell even when everybody's dressed up their best, it's easy to see what class they come from. And this is a man with no money, no rank, no title, walking down the aisle with your Sophia.
I think that
Cuck. Absolutely cuck.
I think that the immediate emotion is rage, because for him and a large part of their relationship when it started out in university, a lot of the problems were around the fact that he didn't come from a good family. He didn't have money. And here she is with someone without any of those qualities that seem to have been the contentious point from their past.
She looks happy.
He's sitting on a stone wall, smoking.
They're coming down the steps of the church. People throwing rice and flowers, and they're laughing and turning. There's actually a photographer does one snap at the bottom of the stairs, and there's a car clearly paid by her family at the bottom, a silver Rolls Royce. The cans tied off behind it. Best man opens the door. You hear laughter. You're across the street, right?
Yes.
Are you standing out in the open?
He's, like I said, he's kind of leaning up against a stone wall. He knows that what he did in order to get here, he wasn't invited. He went to a mutual friend's. He wasn't? He went to a mutual friend's, and he saw the wedding invitation that they had kept and left on their fridge.
Okay.
And he had committed the date and the place to memory. So he'd stayed on the outskirts, but he wanted to know.
You maybe even peeked in the church doors. It's a warm summer day. The doors are open throughout the ceremony. Maybe you caught part of it and then kind of retreated across the street. And maybe before they get in the car, they back up and they kind of set up and they pose for the photographer. The bulb cracks on the ground and they cheer. And just for a moment, as she's laughing after the picture, she looks and her eyes catch yours across the street. And you see kind of a little bit of shock come across her face. And She kind of quickly looks to her husband, and they laugh, and he's looking across, saying something. You see his head thrown back in laughter, and she looks back to you, and your eyes meet.
He takes the cigarette, drops it to the ground, stubs it out with his foot, and walks away. The scene cuts to the following morning. He's being handed his cap and his jacket from the policeman letting him out of the drunk tank.
Nice. I like it. All right.
Damn.
Olaf,
Fuck.
what do we got? Skill montage.
That's right. We're going to improve some scales.
Somebody's
I see knife hands.
you gotta get better at the game.
Yeah,
Come
we
on.
do. We're not good at that part.
So by the book rules, if you improve a skill or stat, you pick one. But last time around, the first home scene, I let everybody do two. So Matt, this character didn't get a chance to participate in that. So I'm going to give you the same thing. You get two. Going forward, I think we'll go back to the by the book rule. It's one skill or stat. But for this one, pick two skills or a skill and a stat. What are you choosing?
I'm going to go with two skills. The first being medicine and the second being surgery.
Okay. Getting our medic. This is going to be interesting. I'm actually going to, well, I'll let you do your thing. But yeah, so let's do the mechanics first. Roll both.
Go medicine first. I got a nice flat 0. 002.
Okay, still a fail. Wow. So improve that by 1d10.
6.
Nice.
All right. And you said first aid?
Medicine.
Medicine. No,
Surgery and medicine.
Oh, and surgery.
Yeah. So the second will be surgery, which I have a 10 in already.
Did you succeed?
009.
Awesome.
Ooh. You still gain 1.
Where were any of those rolls
Those are great
You're
rolls.
already the
in
best.
water?
All right. So, and to kind of fill in a little backstory, let's say that last mission on the way back to getting on the ship, you guys actually lost. That other wounded Norwegian soldier didn't make it.
Yep.
You know, maybe he was still alive when you got him on the destroyer, but was just too far gone.
Makes sense.
So
I think that probably is what made Olaf head down that path. Was like if he's getting involved with these guys, somebody's got to try to keep him alive.
all right. How do you think what do you do? How are you doing this?
I think now that he's joined this special operation, he's going to like the British field medics
Okay.
and learning techniques from them, using their equipment and that kind of thing. Because before he was a Swedish Finnish fisherman. Like he had survival skills and could like throw a basic splint on, but
Yep.
puncture wounds, damage to organs was like, yeah, you're gonna die in the woods.
All right. You know what? And actually, I'm going to say if you do this for a skill of 0, I'm going to get it to a starting 10.
Okay.
Immediate. So
Medicine 10.
put the medicine to 10.
Firm but fair.
And yeah, that's definitely something you guys should know now. Like if you want to do this, you can get British government resources. You know, you are part of the team, as it were. So we'll say you've been working in this field medic office, and they actually kind of let you almost like a ride along, but in place. You're in one of these field hospitals set up around London, and you've gone for a few days, and they let you sit in on an actual incident. There was a bombing.
Okay.
And you're there when they start bringing in some of the casualties. And, you know, you've been able to do some practice work on cadavers and things like that. And here, you're not hands-on here, but you're, you know, scrubbed up and you're there with them right at the table. And one of the medics that's been working with you is detailing, says, unfortunately, this kind of shrapnel we're seeing quite a bit of. It's the way they make these bombs. They splinter, and then they turn everything else around them into the same. What you have to be careful with here is don't fixate too much on getting the object out. The damage is more important. If you can get it out, you get it out. But that's a common mistake. You can hurt a lot more. Now here, see. Put your hands on these tongues. You see how you can feel that in there.
Yes.
It's behind the artery. To take this out with the resources we have here is too great. You have to make calls like this. Sometimes surgery is about doing less harm.
Okay. What happens next?
We sew.
Like a net
Yes, like a net.
that I can handle.
One of the victims doesn't make it. And after, says, there used to be more formal ways about doing this, but I think wartime, it's a bit, gets a bit pressing. Let's practice that stitch over here. You do some work on a very fresh cadaver, which is different. I mean, this is still warm. The blood's still kind of pumping. So it is actually very valuable practice for you.
Okay.
So
Ooh, I feel like I would make a sanity roll for that.
getting close. I won't pummel you anymore. I think you guys have taken a fair share on there. All right, let's finish it up with Fox and possibly Emil.
Yes.
I like how you maneuvered him into this.
Yes.
I was gonna,
by force, actually.
if the fencing had failed, I was gonna give the brooch to her.
A little wedding present.
Yep.
I think, can I just explain what I think Fox is doing? Okay. The disorder first. The disorder. What I picked is a dissociative identity disorder. So what happens to Fox?
Big dad energy.
Yeah, he has, the project that he was working on before this mission, before Royal Harvest, was infiltrating the British Union of Fascists. And he is now, in the months after the operation, has really solidified this identity of Claude Powers as as more of a finance man. And what he has done, or what he is doing, his project now, is twofold. One is to further infiltrate the British Union of Fascists. He leverages his estate as well as a fabricated story about a private endowment from a foreign friend who wants to see Britain kept whole at the end of this war, and is looking for, he has a scientist in his employ, Emil, and needs resources and equipment for this scientist to hire a team of scientists and build, a facility in order to, research some of these maybe more modernized versions of the germ warfare that was used in the Great War. That's the cover. Their true intention is to get Emil to work on something, perhaps even a weapon in itself. He maybe gets lost in this. That's the dissociative identity disorders, that Claude Powers takes on ambitions of his own, and maybe actually starts giving Emil, letting him pursue whatever he wants.
So do you actually want to set up a meeting with?
I was thinking of actually hosting Sir Mosley,
Okay.
and his friends, in order to perhaps, in order to spy on them, essentially.
Let's say, you put some work in here before, and you're up in Scotland for at least a few weeks. You follow up, you've built some cred with George Crowell you've met before.
Yep.
Does he have do you have like a display case with your like yellow armband
And
your
the SD
Nazi
uniform?
Yeah.
No, those are kept under lock and key.
And maybe Emil, maybe felt it's a little weird. Like he's basically being like a character actor, maybe, like how he tells you this role he's taking, but then he stays in it when he doesn't need to, things like that. And you're like, okay, London playwright kind of type. And you set up this meeting and starts kind of casually, a light dinner, like a Sunday luncheon, eat out in the Veranza.
Veranda.
I'm bad with words, huh? And dinner passes. George Crowell and Sir Edward Mosley are there.
Is it Oswald or Edward?
I'm sorry, Sir Oswald Mosley. He is in his 30s, late 30s, good-looking guy. Sharp chin, slicked back hair, very well dressed, put together. He has that pencil mustache, that kind of Charles Lindbergh mustache.
I'm very complimentary of the success he's achieved at such a young age.
And you'll talk for a while, and food's cleared, and you have some whiskey poured, bring out the tobacco, and Mosley says,
All of the servers, by the way, all the people who interact when we have these like little gatherings are British intelligence.
oh, nice. Okay. Kind of working. So you're not doing this rogue.
No.
Okay.
He takes his new, his role very seriously. I'm guessing since, we're made this official group that he's still in command. So I'm guessing in some way.
Yes. Claude Powers is your current persona, right?
Yes.
Well, Mr. Powers, this has been quite a pleasant feat.
I am thankful that you made the trip out,
Yes.
my lord.
He kind of, don't need to do that here. I think we're amongst like-minded gentlemen, aren't we?
To call you Mr. Mosley, then, I feel improper addressing you by first name, especially as we've only gotten recently to know each other.
Yes, well, I do know Mr. Crowell has talked to me quite a bit about your connections and background and thoughts on some things. I think you can see what a dangerous place our country is at.
It is indeed.
We stand on the edge of our cliff, lining up like lemmings to throw ourselves off. For what? Outdated colonialism?
A king.
Imperialism? Adventurism?
National pride, perhaps. For country and king, they say.
What is the pride of a nation who has become a slave to the very empire we've crafted? Why is it now we speak of the defense of the empire? What of the British people? When did we become an afterthought in this nation?
You would think they would have learned after Paris fell.
We stand bearing every burden, carrying every cost, enduring the unendurable. For what?
For them to come and ask us for more contributions.
A world full of beggars, an asset that has become a liability. Not all minds think as backwards as the ones down in London. Their minds on the continent thinking far ahead of where we are, see the direction that the world is going, and understand how a nation must appraise itself on the world stage.
Fox is nodding, smoking.
Emil, what's your name?
Dr. Adler.
I have a scientist in my employ, a friend of a friend, Dr. Adler.
Yes, we've been introduced. We had a whole dinner together.
But I'm afraid I'm afraid that the British Treasury has been all too much aware of how much I keep in my banks. I'd like a way to dispense some of these funds to perhaps forward our national interests. I'd like to give Dr. Adler what he needs.
Yes, well, true British patriots will need to understand that their assets need to go to things that actually support this country. Dr. Adler, if you had sway over the policy of the United Kingdom, what do you think this once great nation should do? He lights a cigarette, takes a draw, and looks very pointedly at you, Jake.
You know why Germany is winning.
I can think of several reasons.
They understand how to make people fear. That is what we must do. We must use fear to keep them in line.
To keep who in line?
I look him in the eyes. Our enemies.
You see him. He draws in. He smiles, almost a sneer. Well said.
If they start to see their allies rounded up or killed, even, then they will realize that perhaps their misguided agendas are not worth it.
Well said, Doctor. Do you know one of the reasons I think the Germans are winning? Clear clarity of purpose. Clarity of identity. They know what their nation is, and they know what they seek for their nation. Mr. Crowell, I must thank you for making these introductions. I think this might be mutually beneficial. And of course, to the glory of England. He raises his glass.
As does Mr. Powers.
Does Dr. Adler?
He Emil's thinking for a long time and he says, clarity of purpose, yes. We must be clear. We must do what must be done.
He hears what he wants to hear in your statement. Takes a draw.
Fox looks at him and gives him this sort of impressed expression.
Maybe holding your breath a tiny bit.
Yeah, he was very nervous, and then once it's sort of when obviously the conversation is winding down, and he takes, I see Doctor Sir Mosley sort of take this as he does.
You can tell this is a dangerous man.
Yes,
and a cunning one.
And he's young.
What was the mechanics of this? We forgot to do that first.
The mechanics are the handler secretly rolls a criminology or occult. I'm thinking criminology.
Oh, this was
staying on the case.
Staying on the case.
Yeah,
yes.
This is to discover more about what this German supernatural war machine is.
What do you think? Would this be criminology? I could see bureaucracy.
Yeah, I thought because we're trying to make financial connections, right? We're trying to.
What's this guy's name?
Sir Oswald Mosley. I should have put his pickup for you.
Yeah, I think bureaucracy because it's essentially Fox trying to.
It's almost like a specialty in bureaucracy.
Insert powers into the British Union of Fascists.
I mean, you could see like things.
Here he is.
All right.
He looks better in Peaky Blinders.
You can almost imagine it like having some consequence or some advantage to us down the line if we're going into a place and you're
positioned as a
supporter.
Yep.
In the fascist party. If it were ever an alias that you had to use abroad.
Yeah, essentially turning Claude Powers from a little cover story into an actual person, which feeds into his dissociative identity disorder.
What's your bureaucracy?
My bureaucracy is 50.
All right, that's success. Oh wait, do I not tell you? That may or may not be a success.
Okay.
Again,
you have a specialty in fascism now?
That's right.
All right, roll a d6 minus 3 for your sanity loss or gain.
6.
Hey.
So I gain 3.
You gain 3 sanity.
If anyone needed it.
So was my new breaking point adjusted
as soon as you broke?
Okay.
So this will actually work out well for you because now you're further away from your new breaking point.
That's right.
What I'm going to say is that you become kind of quickly trusted. The British Union Fascists, a real thing, but at this point we're really getting getting strained to the point of enemy of the state, about to be completely torn apart. The alternative world that we're in, the war isn't going as well. Not that it was going great at the time, but it's even worse. What you uncover is that the British Union of Fascists are actively working with German agents inside the UK. They're passing information. There's discussion of alternative government structure. Right now, they don't have the strength to take any action with it. But you realize this is more than just a, dangerous thought group that's out there.
Yeah, they're actually doing stuff.
Yes. And that might aid you in the future as well. So,
okay.
I don't know how we want to kind of mark that. It'll just be something for us to bear in mind. I will remember
Probably
as this becomes relevant.
My next downtime will probably be furthering that, that little
After
nugget.
he's gone, I say, you're not moving fast enough against them. He was right. They have clarity, strength of purpose. They're willing to do what must be done. You're not. None of us are. Germany wins because they do whatever it takes.
We're walking down to your little laboratory at this point, and Fox is thinking this whole time. He nods in agreement, sort of quietly as he leads you, and the door opens, and we walk back down into your little workshop, and there are two of those quote unquote little
attendants.
Who I think no, I think I keep it from you. You don't know that they're special like special services.
I kind of clam up when we get in the room with other people. Then
but they leave some boxes, and when we come in, they set the boxes down and turn and look, and Fox nods, and they leave, and he walks over to the box that's on the table. He opens it, he takes some things out, and he opens a folder, and there's pictures of bodies that are like all kinds of fucked up and like maimed, and like there's like lesions all over the skin, and like the flesh that's just it's just sort of layers of skin are gone, and this very gory pictures, faces that are all like bulged out with the this residue all over their face, and it's all these are studies from World War I in the germ warfare, and you see what mustard gas does to someone in 12 different ways. And he says, I think they're using these weapons they used before, but they're making them newer. I'd like you to read more about this. Figure out what it is they're doing. I'll get you whatever you need.
I don't know anything about this.
You will read it.
I don't know anything about biology.
You tell me what you saw. Did it look like this?
I shake my head. I saw the devil.
Men are worse than the devil.
This was no man. Maybe once it was a man, but it gave that up. These people, though, these people who you try to ingratiate with, they are still men. And they have a breaking point. They have a cost too high to pay. We can make them fear.
I heard what you said. I know who it was for. You're right. But we're still small now. We have resources, but it's just us. We need to find a way to hurt them the most.
How's your human?
I have 51.
Okay. Emil thinks that you are telling him to do something without saying it out loud.
Okay. Well, how's your human?
0.
Okay.
The base 10.
Okay.
But he's like, I get you.
Oh boy.
Yeah, can't see how that will go wrong.
I think Fox doesn't not mean that.
Can't say bomb on an
God.
airplane.
Are you guys taking a lesson from how Hitler does things?
Yeah.
Nothing's written down.
I wrote for next personal motivation, kill Oswald Mosley.
Okay. All right. I think that can end that scene.
Yeah.
And we'll circle back. It's late July. You've all been called back to London. And you've all met up at British intelligence with Colonel Tentley. And you've already kind of got bits and pieces of this, but he kind of lays out the officials. You are all employed as consultants to the British colonial administration, liaison office to British intelligence. Colonel Tentley explains, it's a bureaucratic role, but with the security clearance already implied, these individuals deal with sensitive affairs between the Commonwealth and colonial nations. They are not operatives, per se. This is your cover. This will be how you are paid, how you can identify yourselves in normal circles. And you will have a mostly on paper, but a supervisor I will introduce you to that will handle any simple bureaucracy you need attended to, anything above the board. As to your mission and your true nature, I'll bring you to that office next. He kind of smiles. And he's walking down a hall it says liaison to colonial administration. And on the door says Governor Titus Redmare. He says, the old man, he clings to his own old title. He was governor of British East Africa.
Oh, God.
And he opens the door, and there's a office like strewn with all these different things from Africa and India, just like kind of overboard. Like, look at me, I've been all over the world vibe. Lots of smell of mahogany and leather-bound books. And behind a big mahogany desk
Oh, so you've mastered the art of cultural appropriation.
is a kind of barrel-chested man, probably in his maybe late 60s, red hair going to gray, big mutton chop mustache, sweaty, even in the cooler room down here. He looks up and he says, "Oh, yes, this must be my new employees." Please. He stands up. He says, he comes over, shakes your hand. Governor Titus Redmare, it's a pleasure to meet you. And, it's all on the up and up. He gives you a wink. He says, I'm quite read in, and I'll make sure that your backsides are covered. As you're taking it to jolly old England's enemies. Yes.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, what's your names?
I am, and he'll turn to the rest of the group as well. Captain Olaf Wexel.
Yes. Yes, Captain, yes. Good to meet you.
Colonel Fox.
Colonel, I can see the military bearing from here.
Leo kind of tips his cap and he says, Leo Krona.
I'm Emil.
Yeah, quite a cosmopolitan group we have here.
Right, he's never enough of this guy. I don't know who's worse.
I'm a bit jealous of you getting out there, getting after the Jerry's Terroristale. I had my time. You want to hear about a true foe, the Boa. Now, those are chaps that could give you a what for. I had my time out there on the hills.
Fox sits down comfortably.
He looks up and says, you see that spear? It's a genuine Zulu battle spear. Wrested it from the hands of the enemy.
Oh, my God. He hasn't missed a beat from a galaxy far, far away.
None of this
He
actually
has not
pertains
missed
to
a
the
beat.
game at all. Just total self-aggrandizing DM behavior.
It seems like it would be light in your hands, sir.
Yes, quite. Well, chaps, I won't take any more of your time, but see to my office. Shall you need anything on the support on the home front? Consider me your safety net.
We are assured.
Gives you another big, sweaty handshake, meaty pat on the shoulder. Yes. Well,
Leo-
Colonel.
Leo eyes the the artifacts strewn about his room.
You are
A lot of it's fake bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell. like tourist trinkets.
Sure.
Hell yeah.
Emil says you said you are read in. You know of everything we've done.
He looks towards Colonel Tenley. He said, just the generalities. I know that you're really up against it, going where eagles dare, as they might say.
Well, it seems like if we're talking to you, we're going to friendly skies, yeah?
Sorry, a bit of the tuberculosis.
I hand
got
him-
a touch in Kenya.
I hand him. I slide the decanter of brown liquor closer towards him. Say, please allow me.
Yes, yes.
I loosen him up.
Yes.
Touch of fucking Kenya. What?
All right, you ply him with some booze. You
Oh, yeah.
want to schmooze with him?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, the rest of you guys hang out here, or you fucking leave.
No, I'm out.
Leo leaves
Okay.
so quickly.
All right. Colonel Tenley waits a bit, maybe hustles you along. Maybe you come back and spend some more time with the governor later.
Sure.
And he brings you to another office. And this looks newly set up. And opens one door. It just says special section. Comes inside, and all of a sudden, you're in a secure environment. Armed guards check credentials, and you get brought in. The inner door says SOE, Special Operations Executive. The sign is shiny and new.
Before we enter, I slip into Leo's hand. It's a small, like, bronze saucer that was used as an ashtray, and it has the motifs on it. It's obviously just a fake baloney thing, but I hand it off to Leo. So I got you something for your troubles.
He keeps it in his hand. He looks down at it and kind of smiles.
And then he gives you a carton of nice cigarettes that the governor was that kept for himself.
Well, gentlemen, welcome to the newest part of the United Kingdom's fight against Nazi Germany. I'm going to introduce you. There's a woman waiting inside. Her name is Dr. Evelyn Hartley. You're going to be working with her. Your next assignment initially is going to be a bit different. The front lines have moved faster than, unfortunately, we have been able to keep up with. And what we have come to discover, of course, is that the enemies are already here. We need to turn our attention inward to make sure we are secure before we stab back.
Fox gives Tenley a look when he says that.
You'll be working with Dr. Hartley. And she's going to be asking some questions of you. Some things we've asked you before that I feel that you've not been fully forthcoming with. Dr. Hartley might be able to tell you why it is so important to have it all out there. And we're going to wait to meet Dr. Hartley,
Oh, okay.
who will be a special guest joining us
Oh,
next
yes.
Sick.
Okay.
time. Catch you around.
Okay.
Thank you guys again for listening to the Nastygram RPG podcast for our London Calling arc. Our intro music, as always, is Walking with Michael Douglas by Wilhelm Scream. The arc theme is Dark Ritual by Adrian von Ziegler. All scores by Adrian von Ziegler and Antti Martikainen. A very special thanks to David for his collaboration, translation, and recording of our cool little newsreel segments of the Zwei wie Wolf, die besten Spielleiter der Welt, 2D12, the best game masters in the world, a fantastic German language podcast about game mastering tabletop RPGs. Absolutely check it out if you speak German, and if not, take a listen, maybe learn, and at least give them a little bump. If you like what we do, we hope you consider supporting us on Patreon, patreon.com/nastygram. You get access to all sorts of cool bonus content, special members-only feed, Discord, and lots of other cool features. Find us on most socials, searching Nastygram RPG, and to scratch your sword and sorcery itch, subscribe to the Nastygram D&D podcast. Thanks again, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
That's nasty.